legacy. So keep it right here on the Morning Drift for when Ankey Dorice gets to actually highlight the gone regime and who former President Uhuru Kenyatta really was. I'm not saying there's anything, but just knowing the person, perhaps even go deeper and do an interview with him in studio. All right, we take a short breather, but you do know that Winnie Odinga deleted her Twitter account.
Yeah.
Still trending for that reason.
Not him, not her alone, sorry. Even Matiang'i's account is gone. That is the CS interior. Gone.
Yeah. So I was hoping not to go deeper into that, but it is trending and it is factual. You want to know more about it, please follow closely on Twitter. And remember, spread more healing, spread more love, spread more hope. And if information is needed out there and it is factual, please do share that as well. That's the only thing I would say about social media. There's a lot of broken people out here due to social media. And I hope this morning we give the right energy on Twitter as well. @DoriceAnkey is my account on Twitter. If you wish to tag us on any information at Look at TV, Simba.
Kiage Simba. Yeah, can we end like this?
Oh yes, Simba. I like how you ask me that all the time.
Socks, men's socks.
Wow.
It's a present actually, you can get them on.
No, they don't like it anymore.
In as much as they don't say it, putting on new socks is quite a good feeling for men.
Can I throw this to the audience,
no,
to the viewer?
Please do not. We don't like it, but on top of that present, can you add a couple of pairs of socks? That's the way it is.
That's how we end it, surely and truly. We come back with the latest news from the newsroom, and wow, oh my. We'll be right back.
Now, William Samoei Ruto is the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. President Ruto was sworn into office alongside his deputy Rigathi Gachagua in a historical ceremony held at Kasarani Stadium, and which was attended by a multitude of Kenyans. Our reporter Hundri Tende now takes us through the colorful swearing-in process as Ruto assumes office for the next 5 years.
I wish to state as follows. Whereas Honorable Dr. Ruto William Samoei was on the 15th of August 2022 declared as the deputy elected President of the Republic of Kenya.
13th September the year 2022 is now firmly entrenched in the history books of the country as President William Ruto is sworn into office as the 5th Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces.
Mr. President-elect, please repeat after me. I,
William Samoei Ruto,
swear that I will truly and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the President of the Republic of Kenya, that I will diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the office of President of the Republic of Kenya, and I will do justice to all in accordance with this Constitution as by law established and the laws of Kenya without fear, favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
Tumpongeze tena kwa makofi Rais wa 5 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Then came the swearing in of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua.
Asante tukulie. Rigathi Gachagua,
Do swear that I will always truly and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Deputy President
of the Republic of Kenya,
that I will diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the said office to the best of my judgment, that I will at all times when so required faithfully and truly give my counsel and advice to the President of the Republic of Kenya, that I will do justice to all without fear, favor, affection or ill will, and that I will not directly or indirectly reveal such matters as shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties and committed to my secrecy. So help me God.
Tumpongeze kwa makofi Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais.
After the oath of office, William Ruto was declared president officially, taking over the leadership of the country from retired President Uhuru Kenyatta.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, tumpongeze kwa makofi, tumpongeze His Excellency, the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya.
To effect the complete handover, the retired President Uhuru Kenyatta handed over the instruments of power to William Samoei Ruto that included the Constitution and the military sword, this confirming him as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces.
Pongeze kwa makofi anapopokezwa katiba ya Jamhuri ya Kenya. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais.
Ilivyo kawaida kama kamanda wa kijeshi waendapo vitani ukibeba kitara kuashiria wao ndio wanatoa amri. Hivyo basi, kwa kukabidhiwa kitara hiki, Mheshimiwa Rais Daktari William Samoei Ruto anakuwa kirasmi ndiye amiri jeshi mkuu wa majeshi ya ulinzi ya Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Tumshangilie Mheshimiwa Rais kwa makofi anapopokea kitara hichi. Na ni dhahiri shahiri kwamba anakuwa amiri jeshi mkuu wa majeshi ya ulinzi ya Kenya.
In the shining sun in the capital city of Kenya, Nairobi, Dr. William Samoei Ruto is officially the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. And as he takes over the mantle to steer the country for the next 5 years, many Kenyans are hopeful that he will live true to his promises of building a strong economic structure that will realize greater heights of development. Henry Tende, Look Up TV, Kasarani, Nairobi.
Henry Tende. William Ruto is now President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. Ruto took the oath of office before Kenyans and invited heads of state at the Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi. During the ceremony, President Ruto received instruments of power from former President Uhuru Kenyatta, which included in the Constitution and gold-plated sword.
It is a journey that started from State House Nairobi, the President's residence, and Karen, the Deputy President's residence. A journey whose destination was Kasarani Stadium for the inauguration ceremony. Two most powerful men, one as a president and one as president-elect, made their way to Kasarani to what is termed as the handover ceremony that will see one return with an entire army and security behind him as he assumes office, while the other will take just a handful to retirement. A presidential motorcade escorted President Uhuru Kenyatta to his last hours as president. At Kasarani, it was now time for the man who was the chief of the Defense Forces for 10 years to inspect the military parade one last time. And as he did, the military band tuned the music to his marching style, after which he left to go to the dais for the main event. Then came the hour, then came the man. William Samoei Ruto took oath of office, administered by Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Anna Madi.
I, William Samoei Ruto,
wearing a grey suit and yellow tie, the president, while clutching a Bible as he took the oath of office, pledged to protect and uphold the sovereignty, integrity and dignity of the people of Kenya.
do swear
That I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the Republic of Kenya
to the Republic of Kenya.
The first one was the oath of affirmation of allegiance, followed by the oath of the execution of the functions, and later he was handed the certificate of inauguration by Chief Justice Martha Koome, an indication that the day had been marked.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya.
The former president-elect was now the president of the Republic of Kenya, and as such, the instruments of power had to be handed over. The instruments of power include the Kenyan Constitution and the presidential ceremonial sword. Uhuru was escorted by Robert Kibochi, the chief of the Defense Forces of the Kenya Defense Forces, and outgoing First Lady Margaret Kenyatta to hand over power to William Ruto.
Rais mteule anapoapishwa ukabidhiwa zana mbili.
The constitution is handed over as a symbol that the country is governed by the rule of law, which is supposed to be the guide in the choices the president makes. The ceremonial sword, made of stainless steel handle and a gold-coated blade, which is traditionally kept at the office of the president in Harambee House, was handed over. As the instruments of power changed hands, so did the aide-de-camp. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta's aide-de-camp, Brigadier Colonel Timothy Stelu Lekul, switched to President William Ruto's side. Lekul saluted and immediately crossed over and stood behind Ruto, who was sworn in at 12:45 p.m. as Kenya's 5th president. Then followed the lowering of the presidential standard. Uhuru watched as his blue presidential standard was lowered on one pole while the presidential standard of the new commander was hoisted. Immediately after receiving the instruments of power, KDF welcomed the new president with a ceremonial 21-gun salute. Ruto's first order as president and commander-in-chief of the defense forces was to command a break on the guard of honor that had been inspected by Uhuru before he handed over power. After the ceremony at 3:46 p.m., the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya took the lap of honor at the stadium in the ceremonial Land Rover with security that matches the man of his stature, the president. Uhuru left State House as president and went back as a senior citizen. At 3:53, Ruto left Kasarani with the presidential motorcade, an indication that Kenya now has a new commander-in-chief, His Excellency Dr. Samoei Ruto, the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. Brian Amuai, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
President William Ruto has appointed the 6 judges who were sidelined after being proposed by the Judicial Service Commission, JSC. They were not allowed to be sworn in by Uhuru Kenyatta. Speaking during his first speech as the president, Ruto stated that he has transferred the national police budget from the office of the president and has designed the police inspector general as the accounting officer with the aim of strengthening the independence of the service. Shadrach Arabia reports.
I, William Samoei Ruto.
In his first speech after he was sworn in as the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya.
Today, I want to thank God because a village boy has become the president of Kenya.
President William Ruto has stated that he has already appointed 6 judges who were approved by the Judicial Service Commission JSC, whom President Uhuru Kenyatta refused to appoint, adding that he will preside on their swearing in on Wednesday.
To further demonstrate my commitment to the independence of the judiciary, this afternoon I will appoint the 6 judges already nominated for appointment to the Court of Appeal, which was done 3 years ago by the Judicial Service Commission. And tomorrow, I shall preside over their swearing in so that they can get on with the business of serving the people of Kenya.
As he had made commitment during his campaigns, Ruto has transferred the budget of Kenya Police Service from the office of the president and has designed the Inspector General of Police as the accounting officer to ensure the independence of the police service.
Decriminalize livelihoods and support people in the informal sector to organize themselves into stable, viable, and credit-worthy business entities. This is the essence of the bottom-up economic model, which creates a path for traders and entrepreneurs to build linkages, experience safety, and enjoy security as they go about their enterprises.
Ruto has also assured to boost the small businesses through the bottom-up agenda.
The implementation of CBC curriculum. Public participation is critical in this matter. I will establish an education reform task force in the presidency, which will be launched in the coming weeks. It will collect views from all players in line with the constitutional demand of public participation, and we are particularly alive to the anxieties of parents on the twin transition of the last 844 class and the first CBC class in January next year.
The head of state has said that he will establish the task force that will subject the CBC to a public participation. The former President Uhuru Kenyatta will have a role to play in Ruto's administration after President Ruto appointed him as the chairperson of the Peace Committee.
I have asked my elder brother, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who has done commendable engagement with those regions, and he has graciously agreed to continue chairing those discussions on behalf of the people of Kenya. I have committed that the government of Kenya, and myself in particular, will support those initiatives that will be chaired by President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for graciously agreeing to support us and to help me in those interventions.
Ruto has promised to return the operation of ports of Mombasa and other coastal regions that had been moved to Naivasha in order to create employment in the coastal region.
This afternoon, I will be issuing instructions for clearing of goods and other attendant operational issues to revert to the port of Mombasa, as I made a commitment to Kenyans. This will restore thousands of jobs in the city of Mombasa.
The head of state has also assured to support the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission. Shadrack Kareria, Look Up TV.
Now, yesterday marked an end of an era and the beginning of another in a colorful event at Kasarani Stadium. President William Ruto's inauguration has been marked in style, ranging from fashion to entertainment. Now, 10 heads of states and dignitaries graced the occasion that officiated the beginning of Ruto's term in office. Cecilia Lubanga describes the event as it unveiled in Nairobi County.
President-elect William Ruto has been sworn into office in a colorful event that saw the 60,000-seater Kasarani Stadium pack beyond capacity. Kenyans witnessing the historic event painted the stadium yellow, the official color of the United Democratic Party of President-elect. The newly sworn-in President William Samoei Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua represented their party in bright yellow ties and two-piece suits, and their spouses dressed up for the occasion. For the now former President Uhuru Kenyatta and First Lady Margaret Kenyatta, blue, red and black was the preferred color for the occasion. Foreign dignitaries and local leaders arrived at the Kasarani Stadium, the venue of the swearing-in ceremony in style, each one of them dressed up for the occasion. Inside the stadium, the seats were painted in the Kenyan flag colors of black, red, white and green. In accordance with the inauguration jurisdiction, the newly elected president was accorded a 21-gun salute as soon as they took oath of office, as Kenyans cheered with every salute. To match such a high-profile event, the entertainment was rich and vibrant, capturing the president's deeply rooted Christian faith.
Finally, Mr. President, a new government has been ushered into office in a colorful event here at the Kasarani Stadium, an event graced by heads of state and dignitaries who are now looking forward to an advanced relationship with the new state in government. The Uhuru-led government is inheriting an economy on its knees, but now with all eyes on the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, Kenyans are looking forward to a new dawn that will go an extra mile to improve the cost of living. Cecilia Lubanga, Look Up TV at the Kasarani Stadium, Nairobi.
President William Ruto has promised to bring economic change in Kenya and reduce the high cost of living. Ruto has said this during his inauguration as the 5th president of Kenya in a Kasarani Stadium. To achieve these changes, Ruto has promised to reduce the cost of living, reduce the price of products by fixing flour and oil subsidies, creating job opportunities for the youth empowering farmers by reducing the price of fertilizer and seeds, simplifying credit methods for small businesses, and serving loans faced by the nation. Edin John Mukora with that story.
In his maiden speech as the 5th President of Kenya, President William Ruto has promised to bring economic revolution in the country. Ruto has said that Kenya's economy will be focused on reducing the high cost of living that Kenyans are currently facing, saying that Kenyans complained about it during the campaign period.
We anchored our campaign on the platform of the economy premise on job creation and the well-being of the people of Kenya, and we have been working continuously on the measures to bring down the cost of living.
Ruto has said the price of food and transportation will be solved by eradicating the fuel subsidy, which has cost the nation 60 billion for 4 months, and the unga subsidy, which has cost the nation 7 billion in 1 month.
Our priority intervention, therefore, is to make fertilizer, good quality seed, and other agricultural inputs affordable and available. For the short rains, we have already made arrangements to make 1.4 million bags of fertilizer available at Kenya shillings 3,500 for a 50-kilogram bag, down from the current 6,500.
Ruto has said the main solution to the problem is to empower producers, including farmers, through availing affordable fertilizer and quality seeds. Ruto has also promised that from next week, farmers will get 1.4 million sacks of fertilizer at 3,500 shillings from the current price of 6,500 shillings. He also said the tea leaf farmers will get fertilizer from KTDA for 3,500 shillings from the current price of 5,600 shillings.
We will work with credit reference bureaus on a new system of credit score rating that provides borrowers with an opportunity to manage their credit worthiness. This will eliminate the culture of blacklisting.
For the issue of unemployment, President Ruto has promised to create employment for 800,000 young people who get to the job market every year to reduce unemployment. Ruto has also said that he has had talks with the Central Bank of Kenya to reduce the cost of banking transactions and bring loans to small businesses and to waive Kenyans blacklisted for defaulting paying debt. Ruto has said the debt that the nation is facing and serviced by 60% of the revenue has to be dealt with so to help reduce the cost of living.
Ladies and gentlemen, we must stabilize our public finances. This year, we will spend 60% of our revenues to service our debt. We are faced with Kenya shillings 60 billion in pending bills for goods and services supplied to government. Clearly, we are living beyond our means.
Edwin John Mukora, Look Up TV.
Asante.
On the 30th of June 2022, President-elect William Ruto, let me just correct that, President Ruto unveiled his 10-point manifesto before the public. Now, the points highlighted key interests of Kenyans, more so the state of economy, agriculture, infrastructure, and education. Will the manifesto come to a reality after it was sworn in? Our reporter Moses Okech sits with Kiage Kisaka, a strategist, for a clear view on the manifesto.
That an inclusive, employment-creating economic model.
The Kenya Kwanza coalition released a 10-point manifesto that will echo the new governance. The flag bearer William Ruto will channel 250 billion shillings between 2023 and 2027 financial year towards the sector.
Well, when you talk about agriculture, and it's interesting that it's actually it was the first thing that he talked about. Going back, you'll find that, first of all, the president-elect, he's actually a farmer as well.
This is Kiage Kisaka, a strategist, who tells me the state of agriculture, which is the backbone of the country's economy.
We are very, very weak. It is actually a terrible state. I would say up to this point, the government has largely abandoned farmers. We are on our own. And yet when you look at the organic fertilizer, and for those who are using it, it's a lot cheaper and it's readily available. But then because government has not gone in that direction and helped to sensitize people about it, helped to support the people who are in that business, we're seeing people struggling and even at times planting without any fertilizer just because they couldn't get this other fertilizer.
The outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta had unfinished projects in infrastructure, which Kenya Kwanza states will complete all roads currently under construction. Sekolia says,
instead of just, maybe getting into that office and discarding everything and just starting from fresh with what an individual's plans are, I would hope that, and especially in this situation, because he was a DP, so he was essentially in that government, right? And so he may have sanctioned quite a number of those projects. I will be waiting to see how he's going to handle the pending projects or the projects that are not yet completed. Because before you start on new projects, look and see from the projects that are already underway, that are already in flight, how many of those feed into your manifesto?
In an approach for education, the exam-based system of academic progression will be reviewed and introduce alternative entry criteria. Will his government support the current base curriculum?
He wasn't for CBC. I would be waiting to see what his experts will come and say, okay, how are we going to redefine this? Because I don't know whether they will decide to scrap it off, which again will put us into another spin. I don't know whether they will decide and say, okay, we're going to let it go, but we are going to see how to modify it into a better system. Then now from there, we can be able to see, so where do we need to go? How do we need to improve on this? 844 was not working for us because it's theory. CBC is supposed to be practical, but then is it really practical, right? And how are we supposed to then change it and make it what it was supposed to be? Whoever envisioned it, right? The professionals that came up with all that, are we implementing it the way it was supposed to be implemented, as opposed to complaining about it and saying it's not working and we need to scrap it?
Do you feel that all these manifestos will be achieved in the next transition?
I believe there's a potential to achieve each and every one of those is possible, but the first place that he needs to start upon is corruption. Corruption is what is going to be the stopper that's going to make it impossible to achieve any one of these. But then if he deals with corruption, all the rest are achievable.
Is all these manifesto a realization, or it will come just to pass as a dream?
I would say this, if he asked me to get it to fruition for him, I would.
Wow.
So if I think I can do it, I believe he has a team that can. So the question is he going to be able to lead his team into fulfilling every one of those manifesto points?
Nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Asante sana.
Thank you.
Now, as we focus on the transition into the new government that will be led by President-elect William Samoei Ruto, high expectations are on the rise, with the manifestos being in line to be achieved in the next government. My name is Moses Kiage. This is Look Up TV.
Thank you very much, Moses, for that particular insight. Now, that conversation, by the way, is going to take center stage in the next part of the morning drift, where Ankey Dorice then will be looking at what lies ahead for President William Ruto. Taking that conversation from Moses Kiage, just looking at what he has to do, really.